Good evening. My name is Chris Reiser, Riser, he, him pronouns. I'm sick. I'm tired. And I'm waiting for my most recent COVID test result. You all said that all these guidelines and data and tracking protocols, policies that we agreed upon for hybrid in the fall were designed to get every single staff member and student safely back into the building. Teachers, the essential worker, aren't getting paid. Cafeteria ladies are being put on leave and replaced. School buses aren't running. Subs aren't showing up. Kids aren't masking up. Kids aren't social distancing. Black and brown kids and educators are still being pushed out, though, and they're still lead in the water. PPS schools are not safe. They never have been, but they're certainly more dangerous now than ever. The only ones keeping this thing together are the teachers, paraeducators, custodians, food service workers, and bus drivers, everyday people who continue to show up under the worst working conditions we could ever have imagined 2 years ago. In reality, though, not one of us would be where we are today, including the folks who are in this boardroom, without the children who show up to legitimize the jobs that we perform. We have to remember who needs whom. And they aren't here for us or for school. They show up for each other. So let's cut the charade. You aren't the ones deserving of any promotions from chief to deputy or national accolades from people who don't know you or a single student in the district you profit from. You don't listen to the folks at the bottom with any attempt to understand, only to find ways to benefit. And if not that, you're trapped by the very logic that reproduces the same outcomes, so that at every point of decision, you privatize, digitize, and make trite, toothless statements on paper. PPS resolutions on Black lives, Latine or Latinx heritage, climate justice, LGBTQ plus folks, and so on, are so many dead trees that allow you to carry on harming staff and students with the policies you do enact. The work of serving children cannot be about mere representation, furthering political and/or corporate agendas, or self-aggrandizement. In this moment, as in every moment, but especially in this moment, we need to center each other. People. You say, "Together we will," a cleverly coded collective command. Well, already we have not. Some of us will get through. Others have already left or been pushed out. You'll just replace them with computers. I have no ask, because nothing any of us ever has to say matters unless and until it converges with the interests of the corporate, white supremacist, heteronormative patriarchy that drives all decisions in this space. If I had more time, I'd say more about conflicts of interest and $1.2 million camera scams, about unconscious participation in systemic exclusion, but I only have 3 minutes. Another way is possible. Another way is coming, where young people will find purpose and real actions that transform our relationship with the land, with each other, and with ourselves. I'm here for it. And Ms. Constam, please try to keep your mask on, because I understand that you're in a space with other people. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Emily Schultz. Last name is Schultz. I am a former PPS teacher and a parent of a second grader in a North Portland PPS school. I taught for 7 years in the Chicago public school system and was in my 4th with Portland Public Schools until I resigned this year. For too many years, the disrespect for our profession has grown. Our roles and responsibilities expand. Curriculums change constantly and resources are taken away without teacher input. Class sizes and student needs grow. We absorb and adjust to new initiatives and all that is piled into our already heaping plates. The workload is unmanageable, and teachers are continually asked to do more with less. Our unpaid overtime ensures that the system continues to run, all while making an average of 20% less than other career professionals with similar levels of education. The following fact was presented to me in professional development by PPS for the past 4 years. Teachers matter more to student achievement than any other aspect of schooling. In fact, the teacher alone has 2 to 3 times the effect of any other school factor, including services, facilities, and leadership. In my own experience with PPS, the actions of the district have not reflected this evidence-based fact. To reflect that fact, any and all funds possible should be funneled directly to the classroom and student-facing positions that lower class sizes and improve outcomes for students. Remember, teachers and teacher expertise matter. In fact, research shows that it matters more than any other factor. PPS, like many other districts in the nation, has reacted to an emergency situation by lowering qualifications to become a substitute. Like putting a Band-Aid on a gaping wound, this stopgap measure won't fix the deeper problem. Again, teachers do matter. How will the board and PPS retain current educators and attract more? I never wanted to leave teaching. This has been what I wanted to do for my entire life. And at many points in my 11 years as an educator, the job brought me so much joy and purpose. I simply could no longer continue to function amidst such dysfunction. As a parent, it has become clearer and clearer to me that the emperor has no clothes. The district is in crisis. I'm disturbed with the following. Schools opened with safety plans that didn't account for the Delta variant. We weren't given more options to keep our unvaccinated children safe. The wait list for the online learning academy remains untouched. Teachers are not getting adequate preparation time. Administrators are having to use their time to contact trace. Daily calls and texts reveal how dire the busing situation is. Standardized testing continues on the same way as it did pre-COVID. PPS is relying on parents to patch holes in the system. For example, being asked to provide snacks for 22 Title I schools after the fresh fruits and vegetables program was put on pause. PPS and the school board aren't talking about the glaring disparities in our system from neighborhood to neighborhood and even school to school. We had a chance to rethink education, and we ended up doing the same exact things, the exact same ways, and simply added masks. We can do better, and we should do better. How will the board respond? Thank you.
Educators are facing extreme workload. In our survey to members, which by the way, we had a 76% response rate, so it's about 2,800 educators responded. And more than 80% report that their workload is so high that they cannot accomplish their assigned tasks during their workday. And 25% said that no matter how much they work, no matter how many hours on weekends and evenings, they cannot accomplish what they set out to do. Educators report having overwhelming stress. 70% of educators reported stress levels that were high or severe this year, with 28% saying that their stress level is so high that it is impacting their health. And I can't say strongly enough, this isn't normal and it's not sustainable. And if we don't immediately address these workload-related stress of our educators, it's going to decimate our workforce. So we also asked educators about their what they are thinking in terms of exiting the profession. We found that more than 1,000 educators indicated that they are currently considering taking a leave or resigning. In addition to those 1,000, 400 additional educators reported that they are considering retiring earlier than they had planned. So again, that's out of 2,800 educators who responded. If even a fraction of these educators leave the district, we will not be able to operate public schools as we know them.